Hi everyone, welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne. Welcome to your daily Sun Sign Love Connection readings. And today the featured sun sign, I like the term featured, I thought about that. I'm like, that's the word I've been searching for. Who knows, maybe I'll have great ability to speak in the weeks ahead versus what's happened during retrograde. But anyway, the featured sun sign is Scorpio. So the highlighted connection today, which means for those that are new, welcome. You are incredibly welcome, as well as returning, of course. I love each and every one of you and appreciate your time. The highlighted means that I'm going to toss the dice in front of you and pick the second sun sign, which I'm not going to do, which was Virgo. I just did Virgo yesterday, so we're going to have to keep that moving. Am I right about that? I am so sorry. I know that I am not right. It was the day before because we had Virgo as the main. So Virgo is the highlighted. Virgo is the connection today that I'll read 3 major categories for, and I'll explain them as I go along. Messages that come through for the beautiful connections of Scorpio and Virgos in the world, and connections of love of all different types. So after I've read the 3 major categories for the highlighted connection, I am then going to pull an individual tarot card for each and every other zodiac sign in connection with the Scorpio. Because sometimes the highlighted connection isn't always the one that all Scorpios are wanting to get a message from. This way I cover all grounds. So the tarot cards I'll be using today are the Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti, one of my favorites. And then I'll finish with beautiful oracle messages that I have that I think are incredibly deeply guided, inspirational, uplifting, encouraging, and that sort of thing. That's their purpose. And they just kind of really invite us to think about the many possibilities out there and the energies as to how we can create in our life. So let's talk a little bit about each sun sign. Like I said, the highlighted and also the featured. Well, today is the Scorpio. So the Scorpio, we're in sun season, of Scorpio, which is the birthdays of Scorpio. So happy birthday, every single Scorpio. I know a lot of you. I hope it's a beautiful day. I know here in California, Bay Area, it's gorgeous. It's fall and it's so perfect. It's what I call the perfect weather. So I do wish you a very, very happy birthday. And I know it's been interesting for all of us this year on our birthdays, but it's been very much a time to really, really think and put into perspective, where it is we're going, where we want to go. That's what generally happens when we have our solar return. We focus on what's happened. We definitely look forward and think from present and onward. Where do I want to go? What are my achievements? And so on and so forth. Now that has to do with the transformational parts of us, which is huge with Scorpios. They are a water sign. They are incredibly sensitive and deeply capable of transformation for themselves and anyone that they come into contact with. They are ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is all about transformation. I mean the deepest kind, the parts inside of ourselves that we have to really, really be true and honest with ourselves about what we really need and what we need to let go, and not just for ourselves, but the people we're surrounding and associating with, our jobs, our maybe the way we look and the way we dress, redoing our image, if you will, regeneration, reinventing, just all the ways that we can transform in hopes of having a better feeling, a better outcome, just it ends up being positive, but it can be a little bit intense when it's happening, and that's what Scorpios are. They're very intense about things, they don't take things on a surfacey matter. In a surfacey way, it's not all about the external, it's hugely about the internal. And so, when you see a Scorpio, you're going to kind of pick up on that intensity a lot of times. There's a beautiful kind of magnetism that I feel all Scorpios have. There is a a very intuitive aspect to them. They tend to understand the human psyche very well, how people are thinking and feeling, like I said. They love intimacy on a physical level, as I know many of us do, but the reason I think it's predominantly known as the particular trait in a sun sign Scorpio is because it's how they literally get to understand and know people is through the feel and the touch, their senses. And that's a huge part of being a water sign. They're very, very, very fixed. They're a fixed sign. So I was going to say they're very focused on their intentions and what that is they're striving for, and they are at their best when they have that ability to really focus on something that's going to change them, change their partnerships, their relationships, the world in some way. That is their biggest instigator, I would say, is being able to do that, like a legacy. The Scorpios represent the 8th house. The 8th house is all about inheritance. It's about other people's money. It's about death and rebirth, and the transformational thing I'm speaking of again. And if it is about death, it can obviously not mean specifically death. It can mean the death of a relationship, the death of your thought process, and all the things I just mentioned before. But if it is an actual death, and it could very well be, it's accepting that and going through the grieving process forever, how long it takes. Everyone's different, and I send my loving energy and healing energy to you for that, because I know what that feels like. I think many people do, but for myself, boy, I went years before I ever knew. Well, my grandparents passed when I was quite young, but it was a long time before I had anybody that I knew personally or I had a connection with had passed, whereas I known other people that maybe, exactly for an example, a lot of Scorpions, maybe they are a part of the actual process of death and have had that in their life early on. So they're actually more familiar, and like I said, being ruled by Pluto, that's going to make a difference there. So they have that innate understanding, and they get through it. They're strong, they're very, very focused, and they're great at what they do. They're great at acquiring money, because they can be very, practical and sensible and all those beautiful things. But there's great loyalty with a Scorpion. They definitely are kind of black and white as far as their ideas and what they want. There's not a lot of gray. I mean, that's that intensity. It's like it's this or it's nothing. So those are some of the personality traits. I find great admiration for Scorpios, because a lot of Scorpions I know, either gender, just have the ability to really become and grow and, like I said, transform and create great businesses, relationships. They're tight, they're intense, they're long term when they are working out the things that need to be worked out, and the conversations and the love conversations that have to happen. That can very well happen with a Scorpio. So don't let them fool you into thinking they're you can't reach them, they're unreachable. That's not true at all. There's such variances in the moods and the sensitivity, or moodiness, if you will. So I love Scorpios. I hope you're, like I said, really truly having a good birthday season, because there's so many changes coming up within the next week or two even. That's going to just completely change what we've come to this year to this point. And I hope that the readings will also show that. So then your highlighted connection is that of Virgo, and it's absolutely one of my favorites. I feel as though I only read that combination in the early part of, or the latter part of October, but we're going to stick with it because I like it a lot. It is a beautiful, very harmonious connection. Virgo is the earth quality and the earth element. Virgo is a dedicated, hardworking, reliable, very capable, organized, detail-oriented, which, by the way, so is, the Scorpio. So that's a beautiful connection right there. Virgo is mutable. They're a mutable sign. They're very adaptable when it comes to having to change jobs or, circumstances. They are very capable of that. It may not happen immediately, but when it does, they can certainly take on whatever that needs to be. They really love to be good at what they do. They are very much an analytical sign ruled by Mercury. Thank heavens went forward and stationed direct yesterday. So it's still in its beginning stages. We're going to feel some confusion for the next few days, but it'll get stronger and stronger in the direction of forwardness. And then it goes into your sign, Scorpio. And then we have a new moon in your sign on the 14th. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. The point is transformation, transformation, transformation. And the two of you can be transforming into maybe a different level of your relationship or connection, Maybe there's going to be an added family member. You're thinking family. Maybe you want to move. Many people are moving. I mean, the variances and the possibilities are unlimited, right? But I love this connection because it's very different in a lot of ways. And, there's the grounded aspect, the very practical part of Virgo that cannot be mistaken. The reliability, the need to have structure is essential. And I feel like they can be extremely caring and definitely someone you can rely on in a relationship. I feel like they'll be the ones who do the planning and organizing and making all that happen. And, the Scorpio is capable, no doubt. But, they're often more involved in things, where they don't necessarily want to take on that task. So the two of you can work and make that a balanced kind of relationship where, it's a give and take. This is what I would like to see in you and this and that in you. And by the way, that's what's happening too. When you have the transformation, it's more about wanting to find that balance, and to thrive in a relationship where it is that give and take. That has to be in all relationships. Virgos are, they're thinkers. They definitely want to continue to be, they can be very critical of themselves. And once again, with that depth of Scorpio being intensely involved in really soul searching and growing and changing and, everything that involves the transformation that they are, there's that unit, that there's that synchronistic kind of feeling fundamentally of how they have the same kind of ideas as far as where they want to go, what type of belief systems they have tend to be very, very comparable, even though it's different elements. But I love the two elements of water and earth. They work really well together. They help each other out. The moisture in the earth softens it. You can plant things. You can think of the future and then watch it grow and be patient with it. And there's no rush on either of these sides. I don't ever feel a rushed energy from Scorpio or from Virgo. So that's beautiful too. But then the permanence comes with the earth. And that's wonderful for Scorpio. They say Scorpios have a tendency to be possessive. That is a shadowy side, let's say, where they want to, envelop their relationships, anything that they have their mind or something. It's really about, it's theirs, it's mine, it's fixed. I'm not going to share it necessarily. And that's not the mentality necessarily of a Virgo, but they absolutely love the idea of just being, they're more background, more subdued kind of energy. And so they like just the idea of growing this beautiful, passionate relationship, having more of an, I would say, introverted kind of relationship. They're fine being at home and having people come to them and having little gatherings and parties, and then working like crazy. And I would imagine you two do wonderful in a work scenario, in a partnership in that way. I don't know, this has just been tried and true throughout the beginning of time in astrology as being one of the best compatible connections on all levels, like I said. So congratulations on that. And let's see what some of the energies coming through for your readings are with the tarot. Whoops, that came right out. So the first card is going to be the overall energy, which I also call, that's amazing. I just saw a little special this morning before I started this reading on that card. It's the overall energy that's led you to this reading, okay? Today is, like I said, November 4th, so it can definitely resonate with you today, or it may take some time. and it may last to the end of the month. You know, it's hard to say. It's not a linear energy when it's about spiritual messages. So anyway, the next category is going to be that of possible blessings or obstacles. And the third is, oh my gosh, it's finances, it's money, it's practical, tangible things that are in our life. So this has to do with, like I said, the two of you in this relationship. And well, I'll say the first card is amazing and beautiful. It's the Wheel of Fortune. I literally just saw something this morning where it was focused on the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is a positive card. And I love getting the Wheel of Fortune, and I love how it is absolutely faded, and I love how it has to do with time. And, you know, when it occurs in this reading or in your life, it means that generally whatever has been happening is going to improve. And it doesn't matter what. It could be the relationship, money, you know, your health, your status, your job, and all those things. It is absolutely now a turning point in that regard. So it feels beautiful. It also equates to the sign Jupiter, the planet Jupiter. And you know, Jupiter is in the planet of Capricorn right now, and will be till the 21st of December. So there's been a lot of earth and, you know, grounded, you know, practical, old kind of mentality, you know, structures, you know, that have been around for centuries and done in a pragmatic and structured way, right? Institutions come to mind, you know, government and such. Well, that's still with us, and it's going to go exact on the 12th, meaning Pluto, Jupiter, and I believe Saturn, all three, which will be the third time. And that can be very, very instrumental in just making some amazing things occur. You know, that change, that transformation that I speak of constantly. That's a beautiful, beautiful symbolism of some really fortunate financial things. Not always, but I feel in your situation, absolutely financial. And like I said, the two of you have the ability to kind of really be sensible about money. You know how to create it. You know how to amass wealth and be very particular in how you invest it. And I feel like the seeds have been planted, and they're really going to turn in your favor with this Wheel of Fortune. So I'm happy, very happy and for a long time to come. You know, that this is not necessarily, it doesn't have a specific time frame, but I'm sensing in the changes that are occurring this coming year, which are going to be slow but very noticeable, energetic-wise, if nothing else. There's so much to be prosperous and profitable from. And then in closing with that particular reading or message, I will say that if you have that intention and you have a specific idea that'll come with this new moon in your sign, Scorpio, for everybody, it will absolutely magnify that. And then the next 12 years onward, it could just be incredible changes, you know, that you instigated, but that you believed in. And you really, really put forth that trust and energy about manifesting. That's beautiful. I love that overall energy. Then the second is, like I said, possible blessings or obstacles. And you have the Ace of Pentacles. Wow. So there you go. That is the Virgo energy. That's the earth energy. That is the practical, tangible aspects of our life that we need. The sustenance that helps us to grow and to, you know, to flourish. And you have the Ace. So that's the new again. That is, everything is so synchronistic, you know. The new moon, the transformation of Pluto that rules Scorpio. That's just this new season, new reason, new drive. And it's fantastic. It shows great potential for finances and abundance and prosperity. And I generally lean towards, you know, money when it is the coins, but it's always about everything you consider to be important and what brings wealth to you. Like I said, health in your wealth. Wealth in your health is huge for me. And of course, it's nice to have money, but without the beauty and the ability to feel good and to create that, It's lacking to me. So yeah, that is amazing. I would consider that a blessing. I don't know that to be an obstacle, unless it's a matter of waiting, because the retrogrades are still kind of very slow, and the Mars retrograde that's been happening since September, so a couple months, is going forward as well. I'm telling you, I feel it already, but amazing, beautiful transformation and opportunities are coming through. So that's absolutely beautiful. Then the last category is finances, money. What's happening with the two of you? What's happening individually that will affect the two of you? And you have the Fool. It just gets better, because the Fool is absolute unlimited possibilities, opening up, taking the risk, just letting it happen, surrendering and knowing that if you intend something, it's going to occur. That's the mentality of the Fool. That's a major arcana. It's actually the first card in the journey of the Tarot, and the messages and the story behind Tarot. Then becomes the One, which is the Magician and mastering and everything. But the Fool is really the journey, and just opening up and saying, I'm ready. And that's what brought you here in spiritual form into this physical form. There's just amazing unlimited possibilities as to how you can grow your finances, to feel that comfort, that security. That's super important to all of us. Many delays have come along. A lot of people have done extremely well financially. So, and you may very well be one of those people, Scorpio or Virgo, but I'm saying, if not, look out, because it's all changing now, and that's how life is. And you get that, Scorpio. That's a whole part of transformation. It goes from highs and lows, and dark to light, and just the absolute law of life, right? That is beautiful. The reading is beautiful. And we don't know exactly what's happening right now as far as government, but just believe it's exactly what it needs to be. And that's the best thing I can say right now. I feel just so much at peace, just letting it go. And that's where I'm going to leave that. But that is absolutely gorgeous for your highlighted connection. And then we'll pull a card, like I said, for every other individual zodiac sign in relation to you and connection to you, Scorpio. So we'll just go around. Now we have Scorpio and Leo. Powerful connection. Very, very different. It is the water and fire. So it has a lot of steamy, kind of passionate energy going there, and it can be amazing. But if not temperate or, balanced, it can go anywhere, right? So you want to keep that in mind. I see so many relationships, and have studied this for so long to know this is it's always an attraction. There's always an attraction, and Leo's the fire. They're the courage and the strength that's very appealing to Scorpio, because Scorpios are extremely strong-willed and strong in anything they do. They are very, very capable and determined. So that's a beautiful attraction there as well. And there's that fixed energy that you both share as far as that goes. And then the planet that rules Leo is the sun. So there's the ego and the drive and the leadership qualities that once again are also very attractive, and confidence, and the passion there, the heart center is unparalleled, So magic can occur, absolute magic, just understanding and sharing the love language that's important in all relationships comes to mind. And your specific message is the Four of Wands. Absolute incredible happiness, security, stability. Marriage might be coming into the picture. If it hasn't, you're just willing to set and commit. And there's that transformation. Like I said, it can come in any form. Who knows? But it feels really, really good. It feels happy. And it feels like it's been a long time coming, and it's a good feeling. It's a permanent feeling. It's not like it's just a fly-by-night kind of energy. I love that. That is beautiful. And we're going on to Cancer, which is absolutely beautiful. Both water elements. Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon has been extremely potent It always is, and Cancers always sense the rhythms and the currents of life, you know, as do other water signs like Scorpio and Pisces. It's innate with them. They feel people's feelings and energies. They are very empathic a lot of times, you know, very prophetic. They get amazing downloads at times through dreams and information. And because of that sensitivity, you know, they tend to be, Cancers especially, you know, they want to really be very cautious and careful as who they trust and who they let their feelings to, you know, who they're going to share that with. Once they do open their heart, that's it. Those pinchers and those little crab, you know, that they're symbolic of the crab. They're on for good. And that's kind of cool. Both the possessiveness is kind of commonality with these two water signs. So I think it can be just a match made in heaven, to be honest. And I've heard that many times. And the withdrawing part is just an understanding that has to be with the two of you, because there's times that Cancers literally need to just retrieve and be alone and have that time to re-energize, you know, and to build up the energy, because they take on so much. The message for the two of you is absolutely beautiful. It's the Three of Cups. It's about celebration. It's about parties. It's birthday time, right? So I think you both are really just living it up. I feel like many people are taking the time to go away right now. Life has started to open up, right? My business started not quite a month ago yet, about 3 weeks. And it feels really, really good, because there's hope, and there's energies that are pointing us in that direction. So love it. Your cups are full. There could be family involved, other people, friends, you know, getting together carefully and safely. I don't think you're going to go crazy. And I feel like it's just a really, really beautiful emotional time. And that's beautiful. So far so good with that, Scorpio. And then we go on to Gemini. So I read this the other day, I believe. Might not have been that. No, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. It was Virgo and Gemini. But either way, I read an individual message for every single sign. So I'm sure it came around. But Scorpio and Gemini, very, very cool. There's the air and the water. Now, air is about the mind. Air is about communication and thinking and growing and learning and detached, you know, from the feeling a lot of times. But very much wanting to share thoughts, share ideas, you know, teaching and just commerce, you know. Gemini is a mutable sign, very, very adaptable, very capable of changing and, you know, trying new jobs, interested in, excitement, energy levels are high, conversations. They like to know a little bit about every single thing, and they want to share that with others and give them knowledge in that category. They're fair-minded, they care about those that they love dearly. They want justice and fairness in life. Analytical, very logically thinking a lot of times. And they are ruled by Mercury. So Mercury is, you know, just that. It's commerce, it's working, it's connecting, it's networking, right? Continuous, just wanting to improve and grow. And they're very competitive at times. So they will make sure that they do their best. And then they have the duality. So there's the times that they can be a little moody, or you think you know them and they're shy one day and they're outwardly expressive the next. Who knows? You know, it's hard to know who you're going to meet. Very fun, very caring. So yeah, with Mercury going forward and it being their ruling planet, things are going to be better, straightforward communication-wise between the two of you. And you have the Queen of Cups. Wow. That's the epitome of the maternal and beautiful, nurturing energy that the Queen exudes. And it could be the Pisces energy, I mentioned Cancer or Scorpio, but with the two of you, there's just a real maturity in your love. You really are feeling deeply a need to give, a need to have that love be shown, and professing your love wholeheartedly, you know? Wanting to just nurture and just caress each other and just feel such strength in the love that you have. These are beautiful. Beautiful. And so it should be, Scorpio. You know, birthdays, they come once a year. They're really quickly coming, I noticed. more and more as I age, but you know, they are important. You know, they represent your being here in this life and what you provide and what you can share with others. You know, it's essential in our lives. I'm pulling that before the other, but the next connection is Taurus and Scorpio. Absolute polar opposites. Very complementary though. Quite different in a lot of ways, which really kind of pulls you to each other because opposites attract, you know. You've got that water and earth again, and that's very, very harmonious type of energy. Very needed in a lot of ways. You know, you fulfill each other in places you don't necessarily have that in your own, certainly your own maybe chart, but also within yourself, you know, learning how to express and how others, you know, see the world basically. So the Taurus is a fixed sign as well. There's that beautiful commonality. They are definitely grounded, reliable, like I said, steadfast, very hardworking. Taurus is the sign of money. So that always works for Scorpio because you work hard to get yours. You want to be with somebody and be around somebody who can talk to you and make sense. And, you know, you talk about money management and you have great ideas together, you know, possibilities to grow great companies, entrepreneurial things come to mind. And Venus is the ruling planet of Taurus. So actually Venus is in Libra right now, and that is also, you know, the connection of love, of money, of beauty, of feeling good, of sharing your love, of feeling the deepest parts of you, you know. And there's deep love with earth signs, you know, and it may not be outwardly shown. It's there though. No mistaking that. And some of them are very, very outward about it. Depends on a lot of other, you know, planets in your natal chart. But I like this a lot. I see it a lot. And there's a permanence to this too. And what do you have? Justice. Justice is the, it depicts the sign of Libra because it's the scales, right? Fairness, you know, that's what Libra represents, you know, justice for all. And boy, that makes sense to me. That's like you feel this kind of real justice and balance, I would say, in this relationship. And if it has to do with the court situation between the two of you, you're going to win. It's a yes. Justice has been served, okay? Upright is a beautiful energy, and that's always a good thing because, yeah, we want to know that justice is being served. So in some capacity, with the two of you or people you know, this is going to be the theme, and it's a beautiful, positive outcome, which is always wonderful. So along the board here, Scorpio, got some wonderful, wonderful things happening for you in your relationships. Then you go to Aries. This is a really cool one because it's once again fire and water. I mean, there's such energy that can be, you know, felt and created between the two of you. Aries is it's a cardinal sign. They're doers. They want to initiate. They are the first sign. Very much leaders. They don't like being told what to do. They're usually in authority type positions. Very strong about stuff. Very strong-headed. The ram, you know, they will just ram forward, thinking about things later. They have purposes and drives, and they go for them. And that's been considerably stunted or, you know, stopped when it had the retrograde. Mars, their ruling planet, in retrograde, but that's going forward this month. So whatever the two of you are doing together, whatever it has to do in this connection, I just feel such beautiful transformation once again in a positive way. And you have the Hierophant. Wow. That's like the epitome of co-creation, divine guidance. It has to do with higher learning and religious, you know, ideals, philosophical things, and it has to do with marriage. So something tells me that some of you, not all, this is a general reading, you're taking it to the next level. You need and want this. It is something you've obviously been thinking about. I don't think any of you rush into this kind of commitment. There's a lot to consider and variables I don't know about in your personal way, but it's time, you know, and it's something that's going to be extremely happy, and congratulations on that, because you know, that's a special kind of love when you take it there. And it could just be another commitment of some kind. It doesn't have to mean marriage. But there's something having to do with, you know, a religious and a commitment of some sort. And it's beautiful. And listening to your intuition and guides are really important with that. So then you go on to Pisces and Scorpio. Beautiful, both water elements. Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac, the old soul, you know, the one who totally understands the spiritual aspects of life, the higher learning and, you know, the unseen things. Now, at one point, the ruling planet of Pisces originally was Jupiter. So that's all about the, you know, benevolence and luck and in the right place at the right time and expansion and things that can be good or not. And now it happens to be, in more modern times, the ruling planet is Neptune. Now that's been retrograde in Pisces for a long time, and that's going forward this month. Like I said, the momentum alone this month is going to be extremely welcome and very, very energizing and just a beautiful, beautiful kind of energy for everybody, but definitely for the two of you. So I'm listening to what messages are coming through in addition to the message, and basically there's some real tender sensitivity between the two of you. Pisceans are very, very much about going with the flow and just wanting to just give and love and feel that compassion. They're very artistic and creative. And Neptune has that quality too. It's obscure and kind of fantasy, kind of escapism, dream-like things, you know. Dreams can be very prevalent for the two of you actually this month. Very profound dreams that will bring great insights and messages. I just overall in general, I feel real connection. I feel real passion, and your message specifically says, I'll be darned, the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is knowing and believing and holding on to a specific idea and intention or dream, like the relationship. You know, you have right in front of you 3 cups standing up. You're actually quite content. And things have been fine. And you have this beautiful new cup coming out of the universe, right? Supposedly. This shiny object. Is that the two of you coming up with a new idea? Is it a new way of perception of your relationship? Is it a diversion? I don't know. But it gives you the realization that the 4 can bring that stability, which the number 4 does. We're in a 4 year. Ironically, but it will end up with incredible stability for people after the beginning of this year. But just knowing that you can use your intuition to guide you in this relationship and know you've had exactly what it takes, and you can definitely stay on that course and remind yourself that, you know, not anything just coming out of the blue is necessarily what you both need to keep yourself happy. And I hope that makes sense. But that's our reminder, you know, the shiny objects aren't always something we need to be focused on, being appreciative of what's happening right there in front of us. And then we go on to Aquarius and Scorpio. I like this a lot too. I see a lot of this relationship happening. Now, Aquarius is the air sign, so they're very much, once again, about communication. Very, very strong, independent, fixed sign as well. Very much in their ideals and philosophy and futuristic kind of thinking, ruled by Uranus. Unexpected, right? Changes and amazing, you know, just bam, complete transformation sometimes out of the blue. That can be good or bad. It does. I don't know, but it can definitely affect the two of you. And you know, Aquarius is once again just about wanting to share, wanting to give, wanting to be the water bearer who wants to see the world at large be a better place, be a fairer place, be, you know, equal and just. And you know, once again, the detachment is there. So that has to be something that's always worked out with air in any sign, not taking it personally when they don't seem to be feeling the way you do, Scorpio. They absolutely feel. They're very emotional, but it's difficult for them to show it unless they're writing you a beautiful poem or expressing to you something that has to do with just ways to, to change the world, in words and communication. And so the sign for you is, see, words, 5 of Swords. So a lot of contradiction in words and communication as of late. And I know you know what I'm speaking of. It's been that way the whole year. So the two of you are well aware of this. You're not going to let it affect your relationship, but you're very interested in truth, first and foremost, both of you, water and the two of you, the air. And you're not really interested in conversations that are not leading to that don't seem authentic. And you can sense that a mile away, Scorpio. That's one of your gifts. You're not having it, okay? And you don't want to be part of that. And you're going to be true and straightforward. And sometimes it's a little brash, because that's what it takes sometimes to get through to people. But so some conflict in the area of communication. And it doesn't mean but the two of you, but it could be. And when I say conflict, I mean, maybe just having a heated debate about what you believe in. You got to do that sometimes to get to a better place. So, and also anything having to do with air and Swords is a very temporary energy, because air flows and changes, as we speak, right? It's the way that it comes out of our lungs to express. But it's like the clouds, they're constantly moving. So that's a temporary, whatever it is. But I feel like it's outside and external that's really been affecting all of us. So then we go on to Capricorn and Virgo, also beautiful. Capricorn happens to have Jupiter in their sign this year. And then we'll go into Aquarius, which will make an incredibly different change in the entire world and in the way we feel. It'll be lighter in a lot of ways, but it will have to do with the way we speak and the truth and justice being served and breaking traditions and things of that nature, which Capricorn represents. Capricorn is a cardinal sign who initiates winter. The seasons are what represent the cardinal signs. Initiators, doers, movers. Oh my gosh, cardinals and Capricorn in particular are hardworking and constantly wanting to be recognized for their beautiful skills, their authority. They are usually in charge of things, but kind of in the background, subdued. I always like to say, even if they run an organization, you don't necessarily know it because they don't need to toot their own horn a lot of times. General reading, but very, very reliable, very loyal, which is very much a part of what you require in your relationships, Scorpio. And, resourceful, very good with money. And with that Jupiter, there's a lot of luck that's come. So something between the two of you could be very fortunate should you decide to collaborate, in money situations or something having to do with, building or investing. What does it say? 2 of Cups. Partnership. Emotion. The Earth generally, like I said, will be the ones who will be in the background or maybe just more reserved. Reserved is a better word. But they have deep emotion and deep desire for love. And I could see that the two of you really know this. Obviously, that's the case. There's a partnership of some kind, and it's really filling your cups, and you're feeling emotionally very secure and happy about this. So I love that. Absolutely beautiful. Then we go on to Sagittarius and Scorpio right next to you. So, Sagittarius is fire once again. Sagittarius has so much momentum and movement and action, and they just want to just try things and really go for it, and they love to travel and go from place to place and express once again their philosophy of ideas, which is kind of very similar in some ways to you. You're interested in the mind and the way it works, and you love and Sagittarius is, like I said, they're representative of the 9th house. You're the 8th. The 9th house is about higher learning, religious, all the things that people don't necessarily excel in, or really focus on. But they are absolutely the best when it comes to those conversations, those ideas. They want to continue to learn, and they want to share that. They love freedom, they love movement, they love travel. They're excellent. They're ruled by Jupiter, so there's a lot of beautiful benevolence and luck that comes with the Sagittarius, and the good kind of feeling you get around them, you know? There's a happiness and an upbeat type of thing. And that lifts you up, Scorpio, a lot of times when you get in that little bit more of a darker, you know, phase where you're really trying to figure it out, and that intensity is sitting in there, and they can really change that for you and get you out and make you have some more fun. Maybe go to the beach because you love the water. Well, there you have the Hermit. The Hermit is our highest power. It is that knowing. It is that beautiful intuition, which you clearly have, Scorpio. And so do, once again, there's that religious but also spiritual side of Sagittarius. So yeah, they get that. They listen. And then they follow it very keenly many times. You can't really go wrong with your intuition. Now, it also represents Virgo. So the idea of a hermit, you know, the person going inward is really what it's about. But also kind of retreating right now, taking a rest, relaxing. Because a lot of things are still not going forward. And we know that. It'll be mid-month when really you'll start to see it. So why not? I feel the two of you, and Sagittarius loves vacations. So I'm thinking they're just like going to come to you and just say, let's go, let's do it. They're spontaneous, right? And enjoy it. You deserve it. It's your birthday month, for heaven's sakes. And then it becomes Sagittarius season on the 21st of November. So yeah, just beautiful, guided and co-creative intuition and knowledge is coming to you, which happens during our seasons. You know, we really start to focus on, like I said, where we are, where we want to go. That's indicative of the Hermit. And then you have Libra. Libra and Scorpio, love it. Libra is the balance. Libra is the justice. Libra is relationships. They're going to do whatever they can to make you happy, Scorpio. They truly love that. But it's going to be a lot about how they communicate and listen to you. They want to know how your mind works too. You know, they want to feel things like with you. They love passion. They are ruled by Venus. That's love and seduction and beauty and, you know, just all the beautiful things that Venetian energy can bring. And it happens to be in Libra. So you might be very attracted to a Libra right now, actually. And it can work, you know, but there's differences, obviously, you know, which could be very appealing. I know a lot of combinations. I've had a few Scorpios. The secretive part of you is something that has to be worked on, because Libra's about bringing it out, man. It's talking and working through things through the conversations, you know. And they are intuitive too, so they can sense when things aren't being said. So, but I think it can be wonderful, and I sense it is. Let's see what your specific. Ooh, death. Well, there you are. And that is you and your energy, and that is the transformation I brought up from the very beginning with the Wheel of Fortune, and the fact that that's what you are. You're ruled by Pluto. You're all about transformation. Well, something's changing in your relationship. You're changing, you know, your ideas. You're actually feeling a lot better, because anything that goes from death to the next transformation is an upward. And the thing that always needs to be mentioned as well is it is a skeletal, you know, figure. It is a skeleton. There's a horse. He's on a horse. He's not dead. His ideas that weren't working are dead. You know, he's eliminating things. And if you have ended a relationship, it's going to be for the best. And I don't think it's going to end necessarily in a bad way. That's really up to you. But I don't really see that either. I see you both having a new perspective, you know, trying to recognize it's time to, like the phoenix, which is also the death, to rise above, to start anew. And it feels so good to do that sometimes. And you're going to do it together. So those are all the beautiful messages for every single sign, Scorpio. So let us read your beautiful messages from the Oracle. And I am reading this month from the Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. And really, basically, it's going to bring you a message. And hopefully you'll really sense in some way how that is specific to you. And that's my hope for you, of course. And so this is for all the Scorpios and all your beautiful connections and for all your beautiful birthdays. And may you celebrate them and recognize each day is an incredible blessing, you know, and just to, you know, enjoy this time to the best of your ability. You have rebuild. Oh my gosh. This is why I love doing the readings. This is why I love spirituality, and I've been entrenched in it my whole life. Rebuild. It's exactly what it says. It's number 16, which is 7. So that's a lucky, but it's also working through all of our difficulties. Rebuilding is another word for transformation. Look at this beautiful illustration. It's the spirituality of all of us, the angelic help that's always there for us, and it's just building and changing and transforming every single time we can or chance we get. And that's what's very strong right now for you. Now there's something right there, the glowing of the heart, because heart is essential in everything we do, and the intention, or the, I want to say the intuition, is very strongly comes from the heart. So let me read to you what it says specifically, though. That's 16. I'd like to think I could read without these glasses, but that's not happening. I opened it up right to there. Go figure. Keywords: collapse, expose, create, pretense, revelation, awareness. Wow, that's a lot. The dynamics of a relationship can often be complicated. The longer you've been in a relationship, the more complex it can be. Relationships begin to grow many layers, consisting of joys, sorrows, honesty, and duplicity. As these layers build on top of each other, it becomes increasingly difficult to know what the core of the relationship is based on. What was once love may now appear to be merely tolerance, or worse. Even in good relationships, you may find yourself growing apart from the other person. In either case, the weight of these layers can cause a relationship to collapse. Now may be a good time to start fresh with one or more of your relationships. I mean, it's exactly what we've been, Wheel of Fortune, I don't know. It's phenomenal. Peel off the layers one by one, cut away any pretense, and see what may be revealed. Find the core of the relationship and decide if it's still what you want and what you find attractive. If so, then discard the old layers and consciously create a new commitment with this person or persons. One based on truth, honesty, and love. Use the awareness gained by this exercise to steer the relationship on a clear, steady course. The affirmation: I cut to the core of my relationships and consciously rebuild them. And actually the archetype, they're saying, traditional tarot, would be the Tower. I mean, it's beautiful. I love that for you. I hope that you feel as as positive as I do, because it just is just so perfect for you. And the death and the everything, it's just right there. Beautiful. All right, thank you for letting Mercury retrograde start to go forward and clear things up a bit, right? And then we have this beautiful super attractor manifestation deck by Gabriel Bernstein, yeah, which I love. It's feeling, once again, our situations, our dreams, our deepest desires into reality. Absolutely making it happen. It happens time and time again. When I live and act from a place of spiritual alignment, I can trust that everything is working out for me, even if I don't know when or how it will happen. And that's just something we all need to really, really focus on and believe. And I know you do. Because, you know, you're all about the truth, Scorpio. And this is one way to really help you with that, I think, is to align yourself with these words and to really feel that from the deepest part of you. I greatly appreciate you being here. If you want to subscribe, that would mean so much to me, and like, and all the others, because that's what YouTube will do to help grow my channel. And having you here is everything. That's why I do this. So happy birthdays again. Thank you for your time, of course. It's always precious, and enjoy. Until next time. Bye for now.